7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
The Savachi syndrome, I'm telling you, I'm like, well, holy shit, that was crazy. Wait for it. Thick and slick. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show, presented by TLR Coatings. We are here back in the studio corner, hanging out, wrapping up basically the entire 2021 motocross outdoor season. We're going to get into some silly season stuff. We're wrapping up the last round. Paula, we're talking championships. We're talking the future. We're talking pretty much everything here on this show. Here with the usual co-host, washed up A-Rider Cole, and washed up privateer mechanic Justin.
What the fuck?
So
what are you washed up in? Washed up stunt rider?
I'm a never was motocross racer.
He's a washed up stunt rider.
Yeah, you can say that.
Well, yeah, you can say that too.
Just a question, how are you in shorts, man?
Why am I in shorts?
No, I said, how are you in shorts? You're not cold?
No. I did a bunch of crack and then
After all that rain outside, yes.
I was wondering, did you just like run before this? Did you go do on a run, get your fucking heart
no,
rate?
man, I've worked out. I got the full ride an hour training facility fucking gym in the basement ready to go.
So did you just work out before this? Like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to say,
yeah.
I don't know how to fucking
Yeah, a whole bunch of crack.
Off the rails quick.
What?
That
Off
worked.
the rails quick.
Just that fast we were.
I was just asking a question.
I was doing the intro.
I was just
we were
wondering.
good, and then boom,
I was just
hard
wondering.
right at Albuquerque. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to follow us on all the major social media networks here. We got lots of content coming up, including make sure to follow our podcast channel on iTunes and SoundCloud. You can follow us on Facebook. I post the podcast on there too. We did our first, we'll call it official podcast, where it wasn't just ripping the audio from the video. It was actually just a phone call that the three of us had talking about fantasy. We will do another one this week, kind of wrapping up our whole fantasy year. We are going to talk some fantasy here because we always do.
Sound will be better next time.
Yeah, the sound will be better next time.
Yeah, definitely got boned on the sound.
That was our first heat race, and we definitely didn't tighten down some
We're
bolts.
definitely going to the LCQ.
Yeah, we're definitely in the LCQ, but it will be better. If it sounds kind of funky right now, that's because we are in a metal building and it is raining cats and dogs outside. So yeah, it sounds like pellets hitting the building at all times. Anyway, like I said, follow us on all the social. Were you tweeting this weekend?
Yeah, so we'll get into that a little bit.
Were you in a Twitter war with someone?
No, so I wasn't
that's
able to a lot on the actual race day, and I was unable to update my picks, which boned me hard.
Well, that's.
I would have known. We'll get into that. But I was trying to reclaim my Dick Street pit bike Money Moto Palooza crown that I won last year.
Who won?
I just started in the back row, and I passed the guy on the last lap, and then got put into a tree and lost.
Sick.
Oh, you guys are aggressive over there, Dick Street.
I almost got the track done.
He blew his load on me, and I hit a tree.
Wow, that's awkward as hell.
And then came home from the Dick Hole, second place guy. So we're gonna come back next year. Travis is gonna be there.
We're having a race here, bro.
My buddy Nick Dolby, actually, he rode a Barrow pit bike there and went to Indonesia so hard, dude. go to Statler Boys Official on Instagram, plug. There's an epic picture of him just going over the bars, and it's pretty good. So.
Wow. Okay. So anyway, yes, we will have, like I said, make sure to follow the podcast too, because we will have some good content coming out from there. Interviews. Interviews are going to be a big thing. I have some stuff in the works here, so we'll get some phone interviews with some actual riders. We were supposed to have another co-host here, however, he kind of got tied up with work, so he couldn't make it.
Real life.
Hashtag real life. Anyway, so moving on. Final round of the season. Fantasy. We play fantasy on Pulp MX Fantasy. We have a league, Moto Aftermath Show League. We will have a big prize league next year. What did I call it? The Moto Aftermath Champions Cup or something like that.
It was something gay. So it was something. Oh, sorry, that was a little.
We will.
What did you do?
That was
I
not.
said gay, and people are
That was
probably gonna
not
get mad at me.
PC, bro.
The Glory Cup.
The glory. That's what we should call it.
The Glory Hole Cup?
I have to. No, just the Glory Cup.
God damn it.
Oh man, 3 dudes, 1 cup, or what?
All right, going off the rails again. God.
Oh, we're terrible. Anyway, so we play fantasy on Pulp MX Fantasy. Last round, our boy Matt Mitchell, who hopefully will be on the podcast this week when we do it, which actually we can't do it Thursday because he plays hockey Thursday, so we got to do a different night so we can talk to him on the phone too. He actually dominated.
Is he
everyone.
Kona rider?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's number 70 overall in all of Pulp MX Fantasy.
Pretty good.
So he's gonna have a national number next year.
I'm definitely doing an industry idiots next year because I need to recoup some money.
I actually won money. Check out the podcast for that update here.
Oh,
You guys owe me money, so that's great.
You owe me money too.
You guys owe me money, and I had a terrible fucking day at
So
fantasy.
just take that money that you. So the money you owe me, just take 5 out of that and give it to Travis.
So basically, you owe me,
So you owe
10.
me $15.
and then you owe him $15. Yeah, we'll just call it that way.
That's an expensive night.
Yeah, that's rough, dude. That's okay. Whatever. Everybody loses sometimes. I was honestly amazed I won. Anyway, so getting into the fantasy
Me too.
picks here.
Me too.
Basically, when we did the podcast, I picked my team. I never changed it, and it bit me hard in the ass. So let's
Same.
get started here. Starting with 250 riders. Had Stank Dog, Jared Steinke, scored me 74 points. That was absolutely great. And then I started getting bit in the ass. Mitchell Falk, DNF.
Yeah, good thing I took him the week before.
0. Hunter Lawrence, DNS, 0.
That's where I got boned. I was pit biking, didn't look at that.
Dude,
update.
I didn't know. I didn't see it. You
It
know
didn't
where it
come
was on?
out. It didn't come out till like the 10 minutes before the first moto.
Yeah, you want to know where it was? Twitter. Which I don't look at Twitter.
I do.
I was
So-
good. I was glad. I actually, I was fucking homesick that day, so I actually got to look at all the shit. And,
Did you have that Rona or what?
And I actually looked at the Twitter, and like 2 of the guys that I had picked were on that list, and I'm like, oh, thank God, because Norn was one of them.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh yeah, broken
kneecap.
kneecap. I was
Yep.
like, oh, glad I didn't, you know.
And then Justin Cooper, he wins and then DNS.
Well, we're gonna talk about that DNS in a second.
Yeah. So
There's some conspiracy shit.
so like I said,
Just-
Because I thought
bone
about it.
super hard in the 250 class. Now the 450s, we had a much better day. Isaac Teasdale, 72 points, solid. Tyler Bowers, 40 points, but still okay, better than a 0. Matt Huber, 100 points, solid, solid. And then Chase Sexton got me the 50 points. So overall, for the day, I scored 361 points, which is absolutely pathetic.
Yep.
Which one of you would like to go first?
I'll go first. So I had 411 points, and I took Hunter Lawrence, and that was a big kick in the dick. So I should have at least, what'd you get? 4 or something?
Yeah, 470.
470?
No, 482.
Okay, I would have been up in there if I would have picked somebody. So I had Stank Dog at Dog as well at 74. Cooper Pooper, 25 as well. So that's 25 on the table.
Yep.
Hunter Lawrence 0. That's a whole meal on the table.
Yeah.
And then I went Nate Thrasher 72. So pretty solid. And I went Justin Rodbell 58. That's pretty solid.
Yep.
Tyler Bowers at 40, another solid pick.
He would have had a lot more than that if he wouldn't have bike issues at first moto.
Bowers?
Yeah, he had bike issues. I
Okay.
don't know what he did, but he had bike issues.
Brock Tickle My Pickle 62.
By the way, his second moto, crazy.
30th.
His second, but he was looking really good,
Yeah.
and then he went down, and then got back to
He's
wherever
like
he
the
was.
Eli to kill him.
Yeah, and then Christian Craig 50.
So
So-
we'll talk about him too. Anyways,
Yeah, we'll talk about him. And I also went first lap leaders, and I got 30
Solid.
points there.
Yep.
So I
Solid.
went Cooper and Cincerillo.
Okay.
So I had 482. I picked Hartraft. He got me 72. Dylan Schwartz. He was making me nervous both motos because both motos he started off in 36th and 39th. I'm like, okay, here we go. It's gonna just be a fucking great day. Jerry Robbins screwed me the most. He had a good first moto, second moto. I don't know if he went down or he had bike issues. Only got me 40. And then Jet Lawrence got me a solid 50. The 450 class, I should have stuck with my gut, and then after seeing how practice went, I changed it, but they had high handicaps. Bogle got me 68. Norn was going to be my pick.
sign.
Bogle had a really good day. Isaac Teasdale was 72. I also had Bowers as well. and Christian Craig got me 50. So for the first time all year, both of my All-Stars got me 50 points. But where I should have stuck with my gut, I had Robbie Wageman and Justin Hafton.
And they both did good.
And they both did good. And the reason why I didn't change them is because Robbie normally is a decent qualifier, qualified like 29th, and I'm like, okay. And then Heft didn't even ride the second practice, so I'm like, oh, I don't know if he has issues or not. But I did something that I said I was never going to do, and I also picked the first lap leaders. Justin Cooper and AC got me solid 30 points. I knew AC the first moto, though. I was like, oh, you know, second moto. And then I'm glad that Cooper at least did the first moto, because I'd have been super fucking pissed. So yeah, I rounded out with 482 points, and after the first moto though in the 250s, I was sitting like, I think I was sitting like 82nd or something overall after the first.
That's like how many points? Actually, I had less points than that in the first moto.
I can't wait until Supercross where I can just dedicate my day to Supercross. It's winter.
See, it's great for me because I'll at least be home by the time Supercross gets on, so I can watch practice and all that instead of, you know, like most of this outdoor
Well, like
season
most
having-
all summer, this summer I've just been busy all day on Saturday, and I don't have time to sit there.
Yeah, I think all three of us just kind of pick shit and hope it goes through. But like for me, I pick it on Friday because I don't have time Saturday morning. So, you know.
I mean, I watch everything all day on Saturday.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Oh, I
which
thought
is
you-
actually a bit of a pain in the butt because there's just so much time you got to dedicate. By the time you watch an hour,
I didn't think you were. I didn't think you'd be able to.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh no. I structure
Look at
my
this
day
guy.
around that.
Well,
Drives my chicken insane, but I structure my day around it.
Supercross.
Supercross, I definitely dedicate my days to.
And I'm taking more risks in Supercross. Tell you that.
Supercross is much
Yeah.
easier because you kind of
He's
know
picking
when the big guys are
Deuce,
going.
Atlantic Nap, and-
No, I will not be picking Deuce or A-Ray ever because I would be really surprised how many mains they make this year. But
They
the
won't make
250s, going all in on the big games.
Okay.
Going all in.
Anyway.
All right, great. Anything else for fantasy? No.
Where did you guys? Do you know your overall ranks?
I don't even want to look.
I don't know.
I think I was. What did I fucking get? I think it was like 680.
Top 1,000.
Yeah, it was like 684. I think.
I don't think mine's gonna load here, and it's gonna be terrible
I
anyway.
think it was like 664 or 684 overall rank.
Well, good for him.
Where do you see that
Good
at?
for you.
You gotta go to your. You gotta go to your main page.
Good for you.
Like dashboard.
Yeah, your dashboard.
Here we go. I'm just gonna
Let's see if
look.
it'll load here. Great radio.
Yeah, luckily just.
I'm just gonna look and hate myself. I have Sprint, so I'm not even gonna look.
Yeah, mine's not gonna load. So, all right, cool. Yeah, mine was terrible. We'll just go.
Anyways, I think my overall rank was like 664 or 684. So.
Good for
not-
you. Matt
not-
Mitchell smashed us all.
Oh, I know.
He was like,
I was 1907.
Does he like? How does he go? Does he fucking?
I don't know. He
We're
was
gonna
trying
find
to,
out.
He was trying to explain it to me the other day.
Does
and
he,
I was
maybe he
just
does the
like-
one that you were fucking talking
The
about.
Roto Excellent?
Yeah, the Roto
We're gonna
Excellent.
find out.
Yeah,
Because
but-
I cannot believe. I think that sometimes you can get lucky because, like I said.
Oh, he
I
wasn't
told-
lucky. He had
Well,
solid.
no. What I'm saying is, I think some guys can get lucky where you just pick something and just like, hey, have a good day
Yeah.
or whatever. But I think a lot of these dudes that you see that have solid, there's a fucking thing that they go about doing that
Well, he-
random people like us don't fucking do.
Well, he's got it figured out to like how many points the winner had each week, like on average, and he was like 30 points a week lower was all.
See, that's the difference between like what we're doing and what guys like him and all these other fucking
Mm-hmm.
people that get like high scores all the time. Is we're just going off of knowledge and
That's
hey,
right,
this is
dude.
the handicap.
If he wins a
These
bike,
guys are
that's
getting
awesome.
all analytical with it.
That's what I mean. So like that's why I think that like anytime one of us or any people that the way we do it, they're close to guys like that. I think it's a good day because we're not doing it that way. We're doing it by just off knowledge of the riders, their handicap, and how they're
I'm
practicing.
gonna be real honest. The last 4 weeks, I've just listened to the Pulp Max Fantasy Show, and
See,
then
I
made my
never-
picks based on that.
I never listened
Yeah,
to
it's
the
not,
show.
yeah, it looks like you did a good job for you.
Yeah, you did great.
Fuck you guys.
Oh, you didn't catch him though, did you?
No, he finished behind me.
Is that something about Hub?
I wasn't fucking. Can we get to the show?
All right,
Dude,
we're
is
gonna
your
take.
background Stu?
Yeah, it is.
That's sweet.
Wow.
Stu, fucking Monster Cup 20, whatever the year you built up.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break.
Great.
We'll come back, and we are gonna talk a bunch of different 250 stuff. So we'll be back.
Yay.
Just a couple seconds. Okay, here we go. 250 boys. Where do we wanna start here?
How about right on the first moto?
Okay, can I say something? And this has nothing to do with it has something to do with the racing, but not actually what happened. How funny is it that every year we all say at the end of outdoors, oh, the title's wrapped up or whatever, points are where they're at, and the race is just going to be amped. And this is like 3 straight years that the first 250 and 450 motos are some of the best ones we have.
Yeah.
Like remember Crawfordsville last year? It's insane. that first 250 moto,
Was
honestly, was one of the best of the year, in my opinion. So I think it's just funny that we always think that, like, oh, the racing's going to suck.
It was good.
It never is.
And in 450 class, I mean, it gives, and it's always some guys that have never really had a spotlight the whole year.
Yeah.
So, because you got the big guys that are just, they expected a lot higher of themselves and they just shit the bed all season. And they usually just don't even ride the last round. So it gives some other guys some light.
But that first 250
Which I'm
moto
going to
was-
shine on Christian Craig.
Oh, dude, I was amped for that second.
How about Golden Jet?
It was good. I was
So,
Golden
did you
Jet.
guys see the butt patch?
Yes.
Cooper's of his dog.
Eating the donut.
Eating the
Yeah,
donut.
I seen it. I seen the picture.
So,
of
do
it.
you think,
You know Jet's just staring at
Jet
that
was
butt
staring at
patch
that thing
for
like,
laps, going just pissed.
I think that there's actually a little bit of hatred there. I don't think that they really like. I mean, I know
Bro,
that
they fist
well,
bumped.
I'm
I
glad,
know.
I think Jet has used it towards motivation and look what it did for him.
Yeah, he rode great. He rode great that
That's
first moto.
awesome, man.
Dude, just the way he was hopping over bumps and wheeling over shit.
Well, especially that one section before
The finish line.
Yeah, before that staircase section, that little double or whatever it was, where like Cooper was trying to manual through, and Jet was just doubling through it, like, and then he'd square off the corner. Yeah, no, that first moto. I mean, I was a little worried that Jet was going to hit the wall at the end of the moto.
He did.
Because
Yeah.
he kind of always has this year. That's been his one downfall.
I was with you. I was nervous. I thought Dylan was
Well,
going
and
to.
I was nervous too, but it looked like he had slowed down. He really managed the race for a 17-year-old. That's
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
He, you could see where he had slowed down a little bit, and Dylan got right to the back wheel, and I think like 3 to go, he put in a heater, pulled out a little bit, and he made it happen, which is kind of a smack into Cooper's face, the whole industry's face, everything. So
Well, as Weech said too, he's young enough. I mean, he could, in the off season, gain like 10%, where everyone else makes these nominal gains of like 1, 2, 3, 5%, whatever. He's young enough. He has way more on the ceiling. He could gain like a 10% advantage in his speed
I
and
bet he
skill.
wishes he was gaining 7 horse in that motor.
Huh?
I bet he wishes he was gaining some horsepower.
Well, probably, but if he's winning on that thing, can you imagine if he had more horsepower?
Yeah, I was very impressed with the way he rode. Cooper rode really well. I mean, he always has, but like it just. I was really curious to see how hard Cooper was going to push, knowing when he realized
Knowing
that
it
Jet
was
was behind
Cooper.
him and pushing him. And they got a little bit into it, going back across the start straight and even going to the mechanics area, running each other wide or whatever. But what was it like I can't remember, whatever French he caught up to, and I can't remember what corner it was. I think it was the left-hander before that little floater, then in the mechanics area. Frenchie's racecraft, I can't remember if it was a Cooper when he passed him, and they were floating to the outside, and Frenchie immediately went to the outside, not knowing that Cooper was behind him, and just shut the door on him completely. And I'm thinking, dude, for you to realize that he is where he was, and you could literally chop off the front end and not take yourself out, that was just impressive to me. Like, you don't see guys have that good a racecraft. He did it. He was literally within a wheel of clipping off his front end. But I was more surprised that they dropped J-Mart in that first
Dropped
moto.
him bad.
And how close J-Mart, like, I mean, dude, he was
And then
pushing.
seeing J-Mart in the second moto, how good he looked?
Yeah, I still don't understand.
Suspension clickers, bro.
I don't get it.
2 clicks this way and brand new bike.
I agree with that, though.
I know.
It's
I do
crazy.
too.
Well,
I
yeah.
suck. I don't even know how to dial stuff in, but I'm here to tell you, when the suspension feels a little bit better, it's better.
I mean, I don't know though. That was just that was such a weird day for J Mark because like at the 15-minute mark he was pushing it. I actually thought he was going to get around Frenchie.
4-1 for second overall, man.
I really thought he was going to get around Frenchie that first moto, and then I don't know what happened. He just
Dropped anchor,
dropped anchor, which
and away it went.
and I don't even know if it was just him getting tired. I just think the pace.
I don't know. He's gonna look good. That number 6 is gonna look good on a green bike, though.
I know we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but yeah, I got a little bit more horsepower underneath him.
Do you think that gives him a little step up?
Yes.
For
Yes, being a Honda guy through and through. But I think Mitchell proved enough times this year that Kawasaki could still fucking get starts.
Sure.
Because I mean, Mitchell got a lot of starts this year.
Yep.
So you put J-Mart on that bike, small, compact dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be good. I think that'll be a good program for
That's
J-Mart.
going to be great for him because that's a serious program and he's a serious dude.
And yeah, and that's the thing is.
And I just kind of think his demeanor. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but his like the way he approaches things, kind of like a joking matter, but he'll still work hard. It is right up Mitch Payton's alley.
Exactly.
I think they'll get along really well.
I was gonna say the same thing. His work ethic. Mitch demands the best out of his guys.
It's like a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
But Mitch can also joke around and have a good time.
Yes, well, I mean, the stories of him fucking drinking beer and fucking doing the fires that he does around his house. But, can we talk about that DNF, though? Or the DNS, the second one?
Is this going back to like the conspiracy theory that was going on with the Martin brothers when their bikes both blew up?
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about that DNS second motor.
I mean,
what do you want to talk about with it, though?
You think
Have
there's
you
something
heard
fishy there?
something?
I haven't heard anything, but I find it very interesting that that bike just all of a sudden lets go on the fucking parade lap.
It was
When-
electrical, from what I understand.
They always say that.
Well, but from what I've heard
Yes.
through the grapevine, mostly through the
I
thing
can
that rides
see-
with Schmolpem X.
I can see that team being a dirt ass enough to where they go, hey Cooper, you know, you were looking a little better than Frenchie in the first moto. Why don't you
So for anybody who doesn't know, and what Cole's referring to with the whole Martin thing,
Yeah.
back to 2016 when and Cooper Webb, that is, didn't need any help. Cooper Webb was the top dog on that team. Had been for a year and a half at that point. He won the Super.
But Jeremy was making a push.
Jeremy was making a push. Alex was riding the best he ever has. I mean, he got second in the points that year. Rode for us at MX of Nations. Come Millville, Jeremy and Alex don't even pit inside the semi. They pit on the backside of the semi. There was a lot of stuff going back and forth between them and Bobby Regan, and they were like, hey, you guys, you know, Cooper's our guy. And once again, Coop didn't need the help
I
that year.
heard Cooper was also doing a little spanky smanky with one of them's ladies.
He boned J Mark's wife.
Okay.
So,
Solid.
yeah.
Well, you
Solid.
still married her too, didn't you?
We're not going to get into that. But anyways, I don't know about that for sure, but I will just say that Star has done, I mean,
They've
they've
done
done
some
some shady.
dirt-ass shit.
Well, look at the shit that was Supercross at the end of this year with Chase and all that shit. All the stuff going on.
Well, yeah, they were making Webb was their guy, and they were making a push on him outdoors, and both of them's bikes blow up in the same day.
Yeah, I'm not claiming that because I don't want to, I mean, not that anybody would watch that in the know, but I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers. But Star does shady
feathers,
shit.
baby.
Star
Ruffle
rip-
feathers.
Star-
Yeah, ruffle some feathers, get us known.
Star does shady shit. They do. Bobby Regan he's a good dude, but
You wouldn't
he-
happen to have some inside information on this, would you?
No, I had some information.
Well,
back
you
in the
probably
day.
have some inside information on back in the day.
Back in
because
the day,
Mitchell
yeah.
was underneath
Yes,
that somehow
I do.
too.
I have inside information as far as that goes. But right now, no. But what surprises me is the fact that if that's true, with Wilbur being the team manager, like I have a hard time seeing he'd be okay with that.
I feel like but they better be paying him good because he's dealing with a lot of bullshit and
He
making
is.
himself look like an ass.
That's what I mean. Like I feel if that's actually happening, it's not coming from him. It's coming from Bobby Regan and all that. Because I can't see Will doing that. Like he's not that kind of guy. He's just not.
Yeah.
But I just find it very interesting that of all the bikes that are going to grenade on the fucking parade lap, grenade, electric, whatever,
I would say,
Star-
according to Cooper, it shut off and then wouldn't really.
I mean,
start
when's the
back
last
up
time
and
that
run.
Stars even had a DNF?
I don't know.
Exactly. They don't DNF.
Mm-hmm.
They don't.
Well, okay, so the only thing I can point to, and again, this isn't the same scenario. What was it? Loretta's 2. Shane stalled on that first lap. They're going through the rollers or whatever, and then like the bike wouldn't start there for a few seconds.
But for me, that makes more
But,
sense though
but
because
that's
that's
something
water.
that's always been a problem. Remember in
Well,
Supercross?
Supercross
Yeah.
to start. But for me, that is more likely to happen being you get water in the electrical
Yeah.
mat or whatever. But like talking about Paula, dry,
Yeah, but
none
could
of
they
that
have got
shit.
water and washing it between?
Yeah, they could have,
I
but
mean,
those guys take so many precautions. My point is I'm not.
I mean, I'm not arguing with you.
I just think it's very
because I can see
interesting.
it happening.
And
It's different.
And even if that was the case, like with all the different electrical components we have nowadays, and the way the teams, the stuff that they have at their disposal in the mechanics area, if it's something like that, they would have had the parts there to like, hey, quick fix, instead of just saying, oh
So,
yeah.
while on that topic, how do you feel about the camera being on Cooper just packing his shit and leaving?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. You guys know I don't like Justin Cooper, but I'd have done the same fucking thing.
oh yeah.
Why are you there? Why? What is the point of him staying?
I mean, the
there?
only other thing that you would stick around for is if you have respect for your team and your teammates.
But he doesn't
They're
because he
winning
doesn't
the
like Dylan.
championship, So,
He doesn't like
yeah.
Dylan.
Nah.
But if you really want to be a good guy, suck it up and
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think Justin Cooper is a good guy. I think he's a dick. I don't think he's this.
he's low key an asshole.
I think he is. I really do. I think he's a low key shithead, which pisses me off because I know that him and
He's never
Dylan.
coming on the show.
I know that him and Dylan don't like each other, but him and Jarrett Fry are friends. They ride together all the
Is
time.
that why
Same
they
thing-
both have blonde hair?
I didn't know Jarrett Fry even had blonde hair.
Frosted
They both
tips.
have frosted hair.
Frosted
and
tips,
Jason
baby.
Anderson tweeted, you're not a star yet rider if you don't frost your tips or something.
I guess Nate Thrasher has to frost his tips too. No, I get you don't like Dylan, but Jared Fry's your boy. He had his best ride so far that second moto, killed it. Nate Thrasher had a really good day. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, if you really, those are your boys, you ride, like him and Jared Fry literally ride together every fucking day. Don't be a dick. Like, you can hate Dylan. You got to be there for your other teammates. So I don't have a problem with what he did because, I think anybody would have done the same thing. But also in the same sense, like, I think it's kind of bullshit. It's like, dude, your teammates they're still young.
I'm on the same page you are.
You need to be there to help them through this shit. Like, so, I don't know, take your pride and suck it up. I think it was just bullshit.
Shove it up your
I thought
ass,
it was
bro.
funny though that the camera was like trying to get closer and closer to him as he was walking away.
I was thinking like, damn, he must have did a real quick switch on his flights, and then I was like, oh, he can just drive home.
Yeah.
And then I was also like, well, his girlfriend's got a private jet.
Well, yeah, because he said he lives like 40 minutes from there.
I was gonna say he was home before the 450 moto went off.
But
so.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's all I really have to say on that.
All right, well, let's move on then to Frenchie. 2.5 for third overall. Did what he needed to do on the day. Got the title. He was pumped.
Yeah, can I just say though that the title, he still kind of had to earn it in that second moto.
Yeah.
Kinda like
It got down to 9 points.
Yeah.
Kind of like he did in Supercross.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he was. We could tell that he was laying back that second moto. But I was really surprised that he let it even get that close. Like I thought.
He went down at 1.2.
Yeah, so I was
Yeah.
a little shocked to be honest with you.
No, he let it get a little close.
But he did in Supercross though. He did that last
Yeah.
round of the shootout. He did the same thing. So I think if Frenchie's smart enough dude, he knows where everybody's at. Obviously the mechanic are telling him. But I think that he's a smart enough guy. He knows where his limits are. And
Yeah.
And he was super excited, and that was cool to see somebody that stoked on a title. Where you had seen Osborne, he seemed kind of burnt out, just like all the rest of y'all, them boys when they get a title.
I don't know. Osborne, you could, if you looked in his helmet, you could like see it in his face a little bit. If he was pumped and he just was kind of in.
Well,
awe
like it
of what
was
he did.
I watched the How's Your Weekend thing with
Yeah.
Swap, and he was just like, I'm just glad it's over. It's so mentally draining, and I'm just glad it's over.
Well, I mean, think about it. You've got a guy that in what was it, fucking May when we went back to ride in Supercross, like he was gonna retire.
Yeah.
Like literally, that came out of his mouth like multiple times. That's why I was like, "You're not retired yet."
But then I find it funny though that he makes the comment how he wants to find GNCC races to do.
Well, yeah.
So like I don't really know with Zacho. Like I know he's pretty open, but like I don't really know when. Zacho has always been kind of hard to read in my opinion because like there's one moment that he says one thing, but the other moment he says something that contradicts it, but not in a bad way. It just I don't really understand. Like I don't really get him to be honest with you, especially with the way he holds himself. He's just he's such a serious dude.
Yeah.
So like you don't really ever know how he feels about shit. But as far as the Frenchie thing, I was stoked for him. I mean, I've always liked Dylan. I think he's gonna have a great 450 career. And to him being a GP guy, and I know people will say otherwise. I think the outdoor title means more to him than the Supercross title.
Yeah, probably.
I really
it
do.
looked like it did too.
And that was something he never accomplished over there because he had to race Hurlings.
Yep.
And they even talked about it in
on
the
the
beginning.
broadcast.
Yeah.
I think legit for him, he's the one dude that you could say the outdoor title means more to me than the Supercross stuff.
Yep.
So for him, like that was pure emotion. There was no fakeness there.
No.
So I'm happy for him.
Yeah, no.
It's a great way to wrap up your career.
And he shouted out his wife. Everybody should have a wife that awesome.
I know.
And
Right?
I was like, wow, that's cute.
What did he do?
He shouted out his wife on the podium. He was like, I just gotta thank my wife, and everyone should have a wife that awesome, that's so supportive, and whatever.
Grant though, GL giving him shit. They were like, yeah, he had a little bit of verbal diarrhea, and I'm like, what the fuck? He's always like that. He's always like that.
It's a French thing.
Like he talks like that all the time.
GL never changed.
It's
Oh
a
my
French
God.
thing. All right, so let's keep moving on here. Shane, let's shit on Shane. Did anyone see Shane other than like the whole
On the
shot he
How's
got?
Your Weekend thing too, he was just like, I'm
But-
gonna be fucking done too.
Third in the points.
Yes.
Third in the points.
Yeah, 5-4 for fourth overall.
The third in the
That's
points.
probably a nice little check.
Can we talk? That's a little surprising.
Maybe. I don't know. Cooper said he doesn't have a bonus for third. Like he doesn't have a bonus for anything other than championships in the points.
Well, that's
You think
just him
Shane-
being cocky when he went over and negotiated his
You
contract.
think Shane's got that?
I mean, maybe.
Amart's one of the few people I
And he
thought
doesn't get
they've
it.
talked about, yeah, that has something like that.
I feel like I feel like that group, the way that they.
It's either
Throw
win or
money
you don't
around.
get shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know.
I mean, you probably get podium bonus per race, but it's probably not much.
But third in the points though. We're not going to go on this argument again like we did the last show. But I'm sorry, dude. That's impressive to me. Third,
That's good.
pretty much a top 5 guy the entire
Won a
year.
moto.
I mean, it's an accomplishment, but
Did he
who the
win
fuck
2 motos?
cares?
2 motos, I think so.
What?
By next year, no one's gonna care.
Well, yeah, he's gonna be in the 450 class.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, like, they're
Yeah,
just,
he'll
But
be
see, the
pretty
reason,
irrelevant.
the thing that upsets me, the reason why, and I know
where's he going for 450?
he's gonna end up
Suzuki.
somewhere.
Where's he going?
Well, I heard JGR was looking at him.
Hep.
I mean, the Suzuki thing. So.
I heard he's got a Hep contract on the table,
Well,
and
maybe-
he's
maybe they
real
fucking
close
get rid
to
of seven-
signing
they'll
it
get rid of
because
seven
JDR
deuce
hasn't put
deuce.
shit out.
They'll
So
get rid of 7 deuce.
Yeah, they should just have. He'll just work
Him
for
and
Feld.
Max. That's it. But
yeah, short for Feld.
my point is that it upsets me that somebody like Shane. I understand, and you're not the only person. Like I know that I'm kind of in the other end of the spectrum on this. But like everybody keeps talking about these other kids, these young kids. We got all this hype around Jet. We talk about all these rookies coming, this and that. And then Shane goes out there and gets 3rd in the points. He wins a couple motos. Didn't win an overall, but neither did Jet. Neither RJ had 1 overall, but
I
he.
mean, Jet won the overall.
Oh yeah, that's right. He
He
fucking
went
won.
1-2
Yeah.
for the overall.
So it took him till the end of the year, but he won 1 race, and before that he didn't even podium. So I just think it's a little unfair that Shane gets all this hate. You didn't do this, you didn't do that, and he goes and gets 3rd overall.
3rd, yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing though, with Shane.
It wasn't a flashy 3rd.
I would say you have next to no flashes on the track. Once he might win 1 moto, 1 overall per year outdoors. Okay.
Yeah. Better than nothing though.
Well, it is better than nothing, but I'm just saying, there's no flash there. He's not a social media god, so you're not getting anything for your money there. So you're not getting anything. They talked about this on the Pulp MX wrap-up show as far as like the outside the industry sponsors, okay? Social media is fucking killing it because if I spend $3 million on a race team, that's not going to translate as well as if I get $3 million into hard data of social media advertising. So this is where you and I go back and forth all the time about their social media presence compared to their race
Like
results.
it's big right now. Like I don't know, you're not on TikTok or anything, but you've probably seen the video of the dude do the Fleetwood Mac song drinking Ocean Spray.
Yeah.
How much money that has brought Ocean Spray?
I get it, and I know that's the day and age we live in, but I think it's unfair for if that's where we're going and we've been that way to expect these. You already expect so much out of these dudes, and now you tell them, oh, they got to go do this and that with social media. It's like all these guys don't have time.
That's just the path you got to choose.
What do you mean you don't have time?
They don't have the time.
How do you have time?
What do you mean? How do they don't have time? Look at this entire year the way it's been done. What time do they have to
Well,
do?
they
They're
take a
fucking on
little bit
flights.
extra that they're getting paid, and they hire a guy to do it.
And that's what
Jeremy McGrath doesn't run his shit.
Kenny doesn't run his shit.
Yeah.
But
No,
Eli-
Kenny does for the most part.
But I'm saying he has guys around him that help him.
Yeah,
So here's-
But
so
Eli's not a big social media
Yeah,
guy.
but here's the thing: if you're winning that much, you can get away with it.
Justin Cooper.
When you get into
Doesn't
this,
run his own shit.
when you get into these guys like Shane and stuff, these 3rd, 4th, 5th place guys who don't have the flashes, you got to have something. You don't have anything. You don't have the flash. You don't have the social media
got
following
results.
and stuff. Again, I'm here to tell you, the results are not going to carry you for that much longer. These teams are going to have to give something up, are going to have to show something. So if you don't have the results, top 5 isn't going to fucking do it. You're going to have to win or have the social media.
Well,
Take your
then the
pick.
problem is too.
Seven Deuce Deuce is a good example of this social
Yeah.
But I understand the problem though is that if that's what it's going to come to be, then you're going to have a lot of guys who just won't be riding anymore.
I mean, that's
And
gonna
then
be-
our sport. And actually, it's going to be worse for our sport then.
Well, I don't think you'll have a lot of guys that won't be riding. You're going to have a lot of talent that's going to flame out here because they don't have anything to offer. They have some results, which is fine, and they're going to get some rides, but they're going to get rides like the HEP, which is where Shane's going to go. Things like that. You're going to get rides on these teams where you're not going to get the big dollar, big rides if you don't have something to offer.
See,
and I know you and I battle about this all the time.
And I think that's terrible for our sport.
I didn't say it wasn't
I think it's
terrible, but it's the
terrible.
day and age we live in. Again, this is something
It's just the evolving time.
I was going to say, this is something that we
Oh, no.
literally pointed out on the wrap-up show that they were talking today of when you go out and you put in front of a money guy for a company that, hey, we're going to spend $3 million on social media and I'm going to be able to give you this many numbers of we reach this many people and this many people clicked the ad and this many people bought product through the ad, et cetera, versus I put $3 million on the side of a bike and I don't have any way of fucking tracking that.
Yeah.
So
Look, I understand all of it. I didn't grow up in a day and age where you get signed because of your results. Not
I mean,
because of-
I didn't either, man.
Not 'cause
I'm
of the-
older than you. I didn't either, but
not because of the bullshit that fucking has to do with what you do on social media. And I understand that that's the day we live in. But I don't think you should sign guys because of their social media presence. I think you need to sign them because you're not. Racing is about. You're
No,
getting
I
away
agree
from
with
what
that
it's
because
about.
there's an alternative. You have a guy that gives you results. Shane, third, doesn't have a social media presence. You find somebody to run his social media for him because the common fan isn't gonna know.
yeah.
And at that point, then
But you gotta have personality to be on the social media too. I mean, that's
So
why you
get a
have
guy-
people like
get a guy
Jason
that's
Anderson,
gonna-
Jet Lawrence. But Shane doesn't have. I mean, this is something that we're gonna start seeing. Like,
Get a guy
Shane
that's in
doesn't
his
have
inner
a
circle.
personality.
If you're running my social media, you know me as a person, you know my personality. You're gonna throw and crack some jokes in there.
Yeah.
So
If you can do that, if you can pull that off, then it'll work, and then you can market that guy, and then that guy can get more money and get more rides and better rides. But if you don't have someone to do that, or he's not willing to do that kind of stuff, man, I mean, you're screwed, dude. That's why Shane is going to end up on something like a HEP, man. I mean, not only that, you just have supply and demand at this point. There's too many dudes, not enough rides. So,
I think that bike though is better. I think it's going to be good for next year though.
dude, I'll give you a prime example. Dino should not have that Rockstar Husky ride.
Well, Dino's thing though is he still has clout in the industry because of his championship. His one championship, he will always kind of like Bobo.
Somewhat,
Baggett,
Yep.
perfect example. I mean,
Baggett.
Dino doesn't win like Baggett does every now and then.
Baggett's not a social media guy either.
No.
And we talked about this last week though. That's
Yep.
the thing. So like, I'm just saying, I don't agree with it. I get it. That's the day and age we live in, but that's not what racing is about. We're not hiring these guys. You're hiring them to go race, get results. If we're just go off social media, then all these dudes should just quit racing and fucking go ride the hills. Because it's dumb if we're giving them
I
rides.
mean, Bogle, if he doesn't get a ride, he should go ride in the hills. 'Cause
Yeah.
that dude is greasy.
He's gonna follow the Josh Hill path. I don't know if
know.
he's gonna be doing snow biking, but
I haven't heard that Bogle is dead in the water from.
well,
That
I think
team.
the end of
He's
this.
starting to ride a little better.
I think he proved at the end of the last couple rounds that he still has it in him.
They interviewed who's the manager for that team?
Butler?
No, not Butler. Who's the?
No, fuck, I don't know.
Can we talk about that in the 450 class?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can. Okay, let's keep going here. Joe Schmoda, 9-3 for fifth.
Okay,
Overall.
Yeah, good.
so
There's
Oh, boy,
another
here we
guy.
go.
So, does anybody remember at the beginning of the year, even though the riders weren't the exact same, or was I picked, that I said that at one point this season, Geico's going to go 1, 2, 3 in a moto?
Oh yeah, buddy.
Yeah! How great is it that Geico is leaving the fucking sport?
Goes 1, 2, 3 in
And
the
then 1,
250,
2 in the
450.
Is it rigged?
Glorious.
Is it rigged?
Did we rig the race?
Well, I was telling you, I never really thought it was going to happen, but for a moment when Mumford was starting to move up through the pack, I was like,
Oh,
oh,
buddy.
are they about to go 1, 2,
1, 2,
3,
3,
4?
4?
I was like, holy shit.
What
So
a
that,
send off.
that team could have not gone out in a better way.
Nope.
But it's a little sad, to be honest with you. That
It is.
It's
It's really sad.
like we said, they've been there since 98.
So this leads me right into my next thing that I made notes today.
Oh, look at
Oh,
you.
So
He's got a
Geico and
notepad.
Shift. So I believe that there's more money leaving than just Geico. I think from the jumbling and the rumors I heard, Shift is done.
Uh-huh.
And to back that up, have you seen any new Shift gear since Supercross?
No.
No. But you have seen new Fox gear since Supercross,
Yes.
and Shift is a Fox company.
Yes.
Yep.
So obviously they're not putting any money into marketing new items, new gear. So that leads me to believe they're out.
They are.
And a gear contract is massive, so there's another big hit.
I
out of
will
Geico.
tell you they are, and I will tell you that Fly Racing was in serious talks about picking that up.
Well, here's another question if we're talking about the Fox Shift thing. How long do you think it's going to be before that Renan shit from Pete Fox is going to be sponsoring a team? Or whatever the fuck it's called. Is it Renan? Renan?
I would believe they
Something
come back
like that.
into the sport. They come into the sport with Dungey.
And I think they're going to come in, if they come in with Dungey, which that'd be great, I think they're going to come in and they're going to start throwing money around.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. And I think you're going to get to the point you're going to see a lot of teams running that stuff.
And
Because if it's Pete Fox, you know it's. I'm not a Fox guy by any means, but the shit's
He's
going to
good.
look cool. The marketing is going to be insane behind it,
Mm-hmm.
and there's going to be a boatload of money behind it.
also, I've heard some jumbling around, and I don't know how true this is going to be, and why they would even do it, being as massive as they are. But Oakley throwing some gear into the market.
That's interesting.
Well,
That is something I've heard. I've even heard a rumor of an Oakley boot designed by the same people that did the 6.0 boots.
That's interesting.
well, we need
So-
more options. I
Yeah.
mean, it'd be nice, you know.
And actually, I take back what I said. I don't know why they would do that, but Oakley has so much money. They're owned by Luxottica, like
Yeah.
Ray-Ban, all that
Oakley's
stuff.
got
It'd
a ton
be
of
just a
money,
drop
yeah.
in the
Well,
bucket. I
now
think,
now you can buy their shit at Walmart too. So there's
Yeah.
that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's lame.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Yeah, but it's just.
but I mean, that's just a drop in the bucket for them to get
So
into motocross.
so here's a question and kind of the Renan thing with Pete Fox. Lawrence Brothers, Honda, Shift No More. Do
Yeah,
you
I
think
see
that? Do you think it could be running? Do you think that could be the gear of choice
could
for
be.
them?
Yeah.
Could be.
That'd be pretty cool, to be honest with you.
I think
Like you said,
they'll probably be in bell helmets.
yeah. That'd be.
I don't know.
Would,
Maybe.
would that be a conflict though? Well, yeah, I guess not if it's Renan. If it's Renan, it wouldn't
They
be.
don't have. They ain't gonna have helmets
Yeah.
and boots.
So they'd be bell helmets, A-star boots,
Or Garnet maybe.
yeah.
I don't know. I heard that old Lucas Myrtle was really beating the bushes in the pits on Saturday, talking
what?
to people.
About what?
Everything
Oh, everything.
for
Trying to
them.
get them boys set up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think they're gonna get paid handsomely.
Oh, they're gonna get set up.
Yeah,
Don't
they're
get me
gonna
wrong.
get paid
I'm just saying. I heard he was in the pits
Well, I
talking
do
to a
too. He's always-
bunch of
It
people.
seems like he's always talking.
I heard the Geico truck was like a fucking merry-go-round with people going in and out, in and out, in and out, talking to
Like, what are you doing
everyone.
next
Well, let's just say this: as shitty as it is to at least see Geico leave, they've been in the sport as long as they have. The whole thing, they brought a different taste to the sport, something we've never seen before. A lot of money for a lot of years.
20-year team going away though. It's sad.
It is very sad.
So
But those boys are gonna, Joe Schmoe and Carson Mumford, they're gonna have rides next year.
Yeah.
So let's just, it sucks, but those boys, they're gonna have rides next year. Those guys, the techs, all the engineers, the mechanics, they're gonna end up somewhere. So that team is gonna be gone.
do you think that team comes back eventually?
I think that if they do, I think it's gonna take some time.
I don't know.
Jeff Myshak, and I don't know if you want to talk about this, the rumor that I told you, if you want to talk. Jeff Myshak, apparently the rumor is that he's putting money into Star Yamaha because of Christian.
Oh, Paige Craig was on running her mouth on Twitter there.
But I didn't hear this
really
from
needs to
that.
shut up sometimes.
I didn't hear about that. I heard this from a friend that knows Bobby Reed. So
A friend of a friend through a guy. Wink, wink. Elbow, elbow.
yeah, something like that. So if Jeff Myshak did leave, if that's actually true, Ziggy, I don't know, man. I don't know who he
Then
would
the,
go.
yeah, the Craig thing would make sense.
I don't know who he'd go into partner with eventually in the few years.
Where's Grondel
Yeah.
fit in?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because Grondel's been running his mouth on Twitter
Oh, he
about.
has?
Oh God, yeah.
What's he want?
And he's been dropping numbers and financial stuff.
That
And
kid needs to shut the fuck up.
Mike, this is.
Oh, his dad. Okay, I was about to say if Eric's doing it, he needs to shut the hell up.
No, this is Mike talking
then
about
never
it and saying how he tried to buy the rights to motocross back in the day, like the word motocross or something, and NASCAR owns it or some weird shit.
I don't know.
Um,
I don't know anything about that.
I don't know, if you scroll through his Twitter, he's got a lot of like number stuff on there and just like doesn't give a fuck.
What happens when a dude's got more money than he knows what to do with?
Pretty
It doesn't
much.
have any common sense.
And if you guys also didn't hear, there's like the Make Motocross Great Again thing that Jerry Robbins running.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Also, Adept Creative Graphics, which is Eric Grondel.
Yep.
Make Motocross Great Again. Also, what's their whole thing? Is to get a riders union and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also just received $100 grand from an anonymous stoner. And guess who's always tooting their horn about a riders union? Mike Grondel.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff going
So
on.
Grondel's still throwing money around.
There's a lot of stuff going on in 2021 behind the scenes. But to answer your question, as far as seeing a team,
All right, can we keep going down results here though?
Yeah.
Because we tend to do this now.
But I can't wait to see that number 6 on a green bike. It's going to look fucking good.
It's
yeah, Maya, you want to just talk about that for a second, though? Daymark thing, or are we going to talk about that at the end?
I mean, we kind of already talked about it a
Oh,
little
the
bit.
Pro Circuit,
It's
yeah.
going to look good. A single digit on a Cowie. Ooh.
I'll be curious, though, like I said to you when I got here, how that's going to work, if they're going to have 4 riders, or if with Seth Hammaker getting a promise to ride, if they're going to be for the first time ever go with 5.
Hammaker's can't be
Yeah,
healthy.
I
so-
saw.
What?
Hammaker is a waste of a spot. He's not going to be healthy.
Yeah,
I saw option to a 452 for J Mark.
That'd be nice. Kind of like what they did with Rock Tickle there for
Yeah.
all those years ago.
I saw that as an option.
He's gonna ride 250 all next year because he's gonna.
Yeah, but then
he's
not
gonna
an
win
option
out
to
there
go to the
Oh,
452.
another thing, too, Austin Fortner points out next year.
Well, they're just going to change the rule, bro.
Yeah, God, I hope not.
Probably. All right, let's keep going. Jared Fry 8-6 for
Great
6
second
overall.
moto. Well, great both moto.
Great
No,
day.
great for him. That's
for the rookie.
Is he going back on to
No.
Yeah.
No.
What?
I don't think.
or they keep him up?
No, he's up. He's
up.
pro now.
Nate Thrasher's the only person that there could be talks, but I don't think he's
Yeah,
gonna
no, he's not going back down either. Heart Raft 7-7 for 7th overall.
Okay, so this is a pet peeve of mine with Hard
Oh
Track.
boy, here we go.
The brick.
The yellow fucking background.
Oh, did you hear about that?
The whole
So-
Troy Lee, that was
so
a shit
that
show.
was-
I
that
guess.
was-
So what if me, a privateer, rolls up with yellow background and they
Oh,
tell
no.
me to get fucked?
Did
Looks
you?
like he just
You
ran
didn't
for
hear
the
the
B
whole.
class.
You didn't hear the whole story, did you?
No.
They
So
talked about
Troy
it.
Lee wanted the yellow backgrounds for something. I don't
At
know,
some point
drop
this
new
year.
Gear,
Yeah.
whatever. So he talked to MX Sports, got permission to do it, but he could only do it at one race. So they did it at this race. And then
They got a
But
warning.
the factory edition.
they
that
didn't get a
released
warning,
it.
they got fined for it.
Oh, I didn't know they got fined.
Yeah,
I
they
thought
got
said warning.
fined for it. So he got permission and they got fined, which I didn't quite understand. And I
That's
haven't
like
heard too
sports.
much more about it, and I want to dig into it a little more. I'm going to have to see what I can hear the rest of the week here or figure out. But it's a real weird situation. And yeah, I didn't understand. Like, okay, I get that you like the yellow backgrounds, but I'm sorry, dude. It's not the fucking rules for the background.
He just liked it because of the whole
But-
mammoth thing and all that.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was because of like the factory edition 250 they released, yellow background.
I don't know, man.
Why they did
they
that, I
were
don't
they were
know.
talking about it in the practice show. All I know is I thought it was super weird. They like got a whole MX Sports, got permission, and then the AMA fined him.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well,
I
that's
think
just
it
the connection between MX Sports and AMA just not
I
communicating.
think
Never
it looked,
change,
I think it
man.
looked
Never
good.
change.
I mean, I think it looked good.
I mean, it looked cool.
okay.
It's
Cool,
different.
But I mean, I guess we can go like the GPs where the fucking MX2 guys run white backgrounds on the side number plates and black on the front.
Yeah.
We just start going around in just all these different colors. We'll run blue backgrounds like Australia does.
I'm just gonna run red all the time, pretend I'm a
Just
points
red,
leader or
just
something.
red number plates,
Just
red backgrounds.
Red number plates,
Be
red.
like,
Hey, how about my bike? I got cheetah print background and gray numbers.
Yeah.
You'd be like Timmy G this past weekend running the all red.
Yeah, there we
Ooh,
go.
hey,
all right.
Got a little bit of a chump.
All right.
Okay, now you're just.
Hey, funny story about the 2021 Honda though. We're going off on a little tangent.
Cody Shock rode it.
Cody Shock wrote it.
Cody Cock.
Yeah. Yeah, he rode it. Crazy, right?
Is that what you say, Cody
No,
Cock?
I say Cody Shock.
Oh. Did really well on it too, by the way.
Yeah,
But
anyway.
There were a lot of guys out, so
Anyway, 2021 450.
went to Motoland. Old boy comes rolling in like he's hot shit with this brand new 21 Honda.
And the fucking
Unloaded.
thing hasn't been fixed yet.
It didn't even start.
Yeah, because the mapping hasn't been fixed.
They were
You
trying to
must have got
bump
one.
start it and do all this shit, and it wouldn't even fire.
It's gotta go back and get remapped.
Guess where he bought it from?
Where?
Ziegler. The dude had an
That sucks.
Illinois plate on it. And we walk over, he's like, yeah, I got it from Ziegler. And then I was at Ziegler today, and old boy came pulling in with it.
Yeah, because it has to be remapped. They actually, they sent out some, and then we're trying to pull them all back to remap them all before they got bought. So,
I think
okay.
they rushed that deal because Timmy G was looking so good on it.
Oh, dude. Well, his bike blew up at a fucking Slovenian championship.
Did you
Like
hear
just
about?
grenaded.
Did you hear about the press day on that thing where the fucking bikes, like they couldn't get half of them to run because the mapping's so far off?
Sounds like a Honda. They did
Sounds
this.
like they rushed it.
And they did this with 09 too, with a brand new chassis. They
Yeah.
couldn't get the back end figured out, so the first time somebody rode it, he fucking crashed.
Yep. So anyway,
I didn't see a factory
all right.
on Kenny's already.
Next up, friend of the show, Mitchell
Sweet.
Harrison, 6'9" for 8th overall,
I
solid.
was catching McElrath that first moto.
Yep.
So what's up with him? Is he just fucked because of Martin now?
No, he's in talks with people.
We'll get some of that on a podcast
I-
interview coming up.
I have seen that man in a lot of the Troll Train vlogs. Is he going to JGR?
He's talking with people.
Oh, yeah, right.
We'll get some info on a future
Don't you worry.
podcast.
Don't you
here.
worry.
That just sold me. I know.
Don't you worry. He even
Justin shit-eating grin right there. He's talking to JGR.
Got no
breaking
poker
news.
face over
said,
here.
just don't you worry. He'll be racing.
Carson Mumford, we already talked a bunch about him, but 11-8 for 9th overall. McAdoo had his hand literally glued into the glove.
Crashes
this
the
weekend.
first fucking lap of practice.
10-11 for 10th overall.
God.
After he fucked me last week in fantasy. Nate Thrasher, another good showing. 12-10 for 11th overall for the rookie. Justin Cooper, obviously 3 DNS. We talked a lot about him. 12th overall. Dylan Schwartz, who we kind of touched on as solid.
Came through the pack.
Rumor mill is that Bar X Suzuki team is going to be the factory Suzuki team next year.
They'll
So
have a
for
good team manager.
250.
They'll have a good team manager.
Yeah.
Also, I want to shit on Justin.
Which one? This one?
Me?
This one.
want me to
I'll
lay
wrap
down
it up
here?
with shitting on Justin. Keep
Okay.
Hey, first
Uh,
off, does anybody feel bad for Amart?
going. I do.
Real bad.
Especially the fact that he rode, 3 laps with a fucking broken leg?
Dude, I know. Isn't that, and he set his fast time with it.
Like, how... he just has no... If he didn't have shit luck, he wouldn't have any luck.
Yeah, pretty
Like,
much.
I know... Well, actually, though, if he would have put in a good result and then Cooper DN... Would he still have gotten...
I don't know, man.
It would have been close.
Because it was close between him, Cooper, and McKell. He could have still got third in the points if he'd have just rode both motos.
Yeah, but you can't ride with a broken face.
No. What I'm saying,
That's
no. What I'm saying is the fact that he broke his leg at the last round,
I know.
and being that close to getting that bonus.
Yep.
And now he's got nothing. Like, dude, I feel so bad for that guy.
If he didn't have shit luck, he would have no luck.
Because I like Amart. I love his vlogs. I think they're awesome.
Yeah, they're good. They're pretty good.
I love it.
I enjoy
More
it.
people go watch Alex Martin's vlogs. 'Cause
Troll
they're-
Train.
They're awesome. Especially anytime they get J Mart in there and he's cussing, and then they
Oh my
get
god.
picked up. And then Brian Perry told him to stop cussing, and he just kept cussing.
Oh, it's great.
I love it.
It's great. Fellow Michigander, Joey Crown, 17th, 12th, or 14th overall. Derek Kelly, 15th. Nick Gaines, 16th. Joshua Verez, whatever, 17th. Jesse Flock 18th, Jerry Robin 19th.
Can you tell the viewers at home your fuck up with Kevin Moran's in the first moto with the money? You want to tell them about that, or are you just embarrassed and don't want to tell them about that?
I mean, I wasn't really. I was watching the first moto. Totally, Moran's sponsored rider of the show. We're not to him yet, but anyway, sponsored rider of the show. Yeah, he was solidly inside the top 20. I think it was like 14th or 16th something.
So we wired him some money.
It was cool. So then Sunday, I wired him or sent him his bonus because I pay him a top 20 bonus, and then he responds with this huge long thing of yeah, so we had some problems and we finished 21st in the first moto, and I was like, shit, all right, well, there's an end of the year bonus for you, bud.
And I asked Travis, I go, did Kevin say anything about why he got $20? He goes, nope.
Oh, there, you just dropped the price right there. I didn't know what it was.
Oh man, so yeah, bonus, money bonus, and yeah, moto, top.
Folks,
20.
watch all the way through the motos.
Yeah. Well, I watched the whole moto. I just didn't look at the results.
Watch that result.
That close, I guess. And yeah, you know what? It's just an end of the. Look, we're making privateer dreams come true every single day by helping out, because we help the common man, because we are the common man.
Can I shit on Justin?
Okay.
Is there anyone else anybody wants to talk about here? I don't think.
Jordan Jarvis got in again.
Yeah, Jordan Jarvis did get in.
Sixth in the Consi.
Yeah, 35-27 for 33 overall. Why are there like 42 fucking dudes on here?
Because there was a bunch of people like waiting in the staging.
Mitchell Falk, 39 DNS. Fuck you, bro. Anyway, okay, go ahead.
So remember when Justin said that Frenchie was just gonna fucking annihilate everyone at Pala? He wasn't even close to just annihilating everybody.
No.
Yeah, but you guys agreed with me, so fuck off.
That's all I want.
I mean, okay, all right, cool.
Wow.
That's it.
Cool story, bro.
So now we've gone super long on 250s. Anything else before
No.
we? Okay, cool.
Because we're gonna log on 450s.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna take a break.
Good show.
We'll be back
Great radio, bro.
with the 450s here in a couple of minutes. Okay, here we go. The end of the season. The last section for us here. 450s. Let's start from the bottom up here. Hold
Fell
on.
asleep. You know, like when you're on the shitter for a really long time, like with your phone.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
What?
No, go ahead.
Did you say I was gonna fall asleep or you're gonna fall asleep?
go ahead.
All right, 40th overall, Austin Root.
Oh, this is how we're doing this?
Griffin Dexter, 39th.
Nobody knows who that is.
Renee Garcia, 38th.
Renee Cartier.
Blake Hogue, 37th.
Solid motocross names.
Connor Olson, he works for Alpine Stars.
Solid
Down,
motocross
hold
names. Connor Olson. That's a normal name. Blake Hogue.
What about that one dude named Walter White?
That's a weird name.
Yeah, dude, he's fast as shit at Southwick, though.
Is he?
Yeah. He qualified first a couple years ago as a
Is
deep
he
group.
cooking meth out there?
He might be.
Is he on meth?
He rides KTO.
Y'all just keep talking here. Hold on. I gotta
Great.
drain it.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm draining the air system so we don't
Oh,
have
here
to
we
fucking
go.
hiss.
What's he doing?
I don't know. He's draining his main vein.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool.
All right,
Great.
anyways. Yeah, let's
Hold on,
not.
let me keep-
Do we really have to go through all the way through the top 40?
Fine.
Can we just talk about what matters?
Let me scroll
Are
here.
there any local boys there? No. Keep
Let me
going.
scroll here.
Oh, 250 class. We'll shout out. We'll give.
Can we talk about Kate Clayson beating A-Ray for 20th spot in the first moto on the last lap?
It's not shocking. Kate's faster than A-Ray outdoors. Supercross, he get annihilated, but outdoors, yeah. Kate's actually had some good finishes over there.
All right, who you want to talk about here? You want to talk about, dude, we can talk about friend of the show, Matt Hubert.
Great ride.
14th overall. 14.
Bam! Great ride. A little bit of local knowledge.
Solid pick.
Kick you in a little bit.
For
Yeah,
fantasy
maybe.
there. Super solid pick.
It would have been really nice to see him do that,
How
most of the year.
How about my guy Rod Bell?
He's your guy now?
Never been to Pala and cranks out a top 10.
How about him riding
here we
old
go.
Glenn Helen on Thursday in A-Ray's gear on A-Ray's bike because he wanted to ride Glenn
I'm
Helen.
honestly surprised A-Ray's gear fit him.
That's sweet.
Went out and just put on A-Ray's gear. No knee braces.
Throwing some fatties.
Flew out there, just wanted to go.
Yeah,
out
just
there.
went out,
Never ridden
ripped
a Glen
laps.
Helen. That's pretty
Throwing some
sweet.
fatties.
Rip laps, throwing fatties.
That's rad.
Throwing fatties.
Somebody texted A-Ray, I don't remember who it was, and was like, yo, can you send me a picture of Rod Bell riding your bike? And he sent him like two of Rod Bell just upside down.
Can we talk about all the people that did not ride
Yeah, that's what I was
Full
going to
fade
get to.
class.
So a lot of these guys had awesome finishes, but I'm going to give a fat asterisk to them all.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was actually going to mention this. Can we talk about it? Kind of, even though these privateers have had a great year. We know that Kenny, Coop, and Ando weren't there the whole entire. So like that's 3 guys, but like for the most part. But the disparity between the top 10 guys, because Masterpool, the second moto, what did he get? 10th, right? 10th, 11th.
Sure, yeah.
10th.
No, he got. Masspool got 10th the first moto. Cody Schott got 10th. The
Okay,
second
so
moto.
Cody Schott got 10th the second moto. But both motos, they were a minute and 42 seconds back of the 9th place. So even though as great as it, and I agree, the asterisk has been put there, they had a great year, but this isn't like Kyle Regal in 2009 or Gavin Graysick in 2007.
Can we talk about Barsha?
What do you want to talk about?
You think he's riding that red machine already?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
And there's an interesting, I heard on a podcast, I can't remember which one it was, there's an interesting correlation between his contract years and how well he does until he has a contract.
Well, I feel like that's been a view for a long time. People always say that he does certain things up until his
He
last
gets
year.
badass
I
on the
mean-
contract and then just shits.
I mean, think about it. Think about how good he rode the beginning of the year. And then what? We had the gas contract, Yamaha gas, whatever here for the last however many weeks. And then all of a sudden it's finalized. And how have his results been since then?
Well, he's going to look real sweet on that red KTM next year.
I think he'll be good.
I think so too.
Yeah,
Starts.
yeah.
It just depends on how that frame works with his.
Well, the correlation that was made was that he gets very, what's the word I'm looking for? Where he's just there and he doesn't really give a shit.
Collecting his paycheck.
Yeah.
I actually feel like that red KTM is going to work out better with the way that transmission's set up and how he likes to rev the piss out of everything. I feel like that's actually going to work better for him.
Maybe.
And the flex of that frame, I mean, people always said like Barsha at KTM would have been a great fit. I mean, it never was going to happen because him and Roger. So that's what's even more surprising if this worked out.
I mean, the correlation I'm just saying is like,
I
he goes
get
and
it.
rides practice on Saturday and then just doesn't race.
Anybody say why he was even out? What? Like, I know he crashed in practice.
He's hurt.
Okay, so let's talk about the people that
Sure.
did. Barsha didn't show up. Baggett. Noren got hurt. Sabachi was hurt.
Baggett does have a legit
But no, I
issue.
saw a thing. What was going on with Savachi just bitching at Sexton?
Oh, it wasn't even
I
his
don't
fault.
know.
Sexton got bitched at him, and Sabachi was like, "What the fuck, dude?" Okay, so you know how when you come out and go up that hill?
So Savachi got Fortner syndrome?
No, like okay, so the off camera, and then you
I
go.
saw it,
Okay,
yeah.
so like Sexton started bitching at him first, and Sabachi was just trying to explain what happened, and he was talking to Jade Dungy, and that's why Jade, he's like, "Dude, it's over with. It's over with." But Joey was just trying to explain what happened. Like it wasn't. And if you look at it, Chase actually overreacted because the way that corner flowed up the hill, like Joey was going to drift out anyway, and Chase just happened to be behind him. So it's not like Joey completely just
Well,
cut him
Sexton's
off.
got
going up the
Fortner
hill.
syndrome. I think Sexton's a little bitch.
Yeah. But my point, what I'm getting at is that Joey was just like defending himself. Chase was the one who instigated it. So like, and Jade was just trying to keep Joey.
Savachi looked fired up in that video.
Well, I think Jade was like talking to him as they were riding back, trying to get Joey to not jump off his bike and fucking tackle Chase.
That would have been awesome. He should have let it happen.
It
Should have just let. I would
would
have.
have been so great because it would have been the stupidest fight I've ever seen in my life. But it would have been
I would
awesome.
have just
I
stepped
do-
off the back of that bike and just let shit happen. The
I-
ratings would have gone through the
And then
fucking
Jade would
roof.
have fucking grabbed both of them by the neck and just.
I like the Jordan gear.
It's alright.
I like it.
Yeah, but I understand the Illinois thing, Chicago, and all that. But it's like Chase, you're not.
Chase, you
you're
don't
not-
blow the
you're not a
candle,
baller.
Michael
No.
Jordan.
And you're not a baller, dude.
But it was, I mean, it was neat.
That's
to
the
see.
only thing. I'm on the same page. Like, it's cool, it's unique,
Yeah.
but it's like, dude, chill down.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was just something that like he decided to do or A-Stars came to with him, but it's like
I mean,
that's
it's,
a hit.
it's alright.
it's like, bro, you're a white motocrosser, like you don't watch basketball, calm down.
It was alright. Whatever.
Anyways,
My AC does.
wow. Yeah, okay, well, AC
Anyway.
is
Anywho.
weird.
Oh.
So we'll just go right back to the top of the order.
Sexton,
with
baby.
the overall.
Okay, calm down. We got to talk about the first moto.
You settle down because he looked like an idiot in the first moto. Tomac showed up in the first moto.
Yeah, can we
make
talk
it
about
show
that
up.
for a minute? That Eli proved once again that when he wants to win, he's just gonna win.
He's just riding himself into shape, is all.
He's just, but
Did you
seriously,
see
though,
that outside he was taking before the downhill?
Yes.
seriously, I know that you, out of the three of us, like Eli more than me and Cole do. But I think we can all agree that when Eli wants to win, aside from Jeffrey Hurlings, Kenny on his good days, and Geyser, there's nobody in the 450 class right now that's faster than him. Plain and simple.
He just rode himself into shape. this season.
Yeah.
Three more rounds, dude, we'd have been in it.
Did they talk about on the wrap up? Did JT and Steve Mathis get into this? Because JT just said he's been another guy, and Mathis has been like, hey, did they talk about the fact that they can they explain that?
JT just kept saying like, dude, I think he just rode himself into shape. He took time off after Supercross.
Oh, so now he wants to back. So now
well deserved
he's
time off,
backtracking.
and now he's just rode himself into shape here as we go.
I think it just proved that Eli just didn't care about this outdoor season.
I mean, I don't think he did, but I also am like, what they've been talking about too, there wasn't heat and exhaustion and shit like that.
But Paula and Thunder Valley wasn't hot.
For him, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There wasn't that, but then he still had some breakout rides. Like that's
I'm just gonna say, as much as like I said, I don't like Eli, but he proved once again that if he would have wanted to win this year, he was gonna win. There was nobody that was gonna beat him. As great as AC rode, as great as Zaka rode.
Yeah, if he wanted to. But again, I'm on the board with everyone else of he took time off.
Yes, no.
Whether he wants to say it or not, he took time off. He had his kid. He won his title.
Yes.
He was like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to take 3 weeks off. Yeah.
And this is not me taking anything away from Zacho. He had a great season. AC rode good. Sexton had bright spots. Other guys had. But
them boys all fuck.
Eli, no.
Yes.
No. Eli proved that when he wants to, those guys wouldn't have done what they did this year. Eli would have beat them all every chance he would have rode like that. Plain and simple. Like, I hate to say it because I don't like Eli, but there's no disputing that. Because there's people out there that want to say that, oh, even if he would have cared this year, he wouldn't have won the title anyways. It's like, no, dude.
I just can't wait to get into 2021 and watch him just be another guy, you know?
No, he's not going to be another guy, but although this is on record, Matt Wyman says that Eli's never going to win another title.
Wow.
So, said last night, I'm blowing Matt out. He said it to me on the phone last night. I'm like, holy shit, did you just say that?
That's impressive.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like, I don't think Eli's ever going to win another title.
He's a Tomac homer.
Oh, it's insane.
It's just because he's got. Why does he like him? Because he hunts and he has a Kawasaki.
I don't know. Because he's like Eli since the Geico days.
Look, here's what I got to say. I can't argue that point. I don't think he's going to win another one either.
All right, I want to go back to Sexton real quick.
Okay, great.
So the
let's
pass
just keep
on
changing it up. Let's go in a circle.
So this is on my notes here.
Uh-oh.
I have.
I'm impressed with notes.
Yeah.
Really
I have Bogle sighting.
Okay.
Bogle looked good.
Yep.
But again, Ashik, you didn't have Baggett, you didn't have Barsha.
But I still think that he could have been top 10.
I believe so too.
Yes.
He rode great.
I have Sexton, Stu move, pass on Craig. So did you see the pass on Craig?
Which moto? So he
Second.
passed it. Which one are you talking about? Because there's certain things that I do and don't.
So there's the rollers, and then some guys were kind of wheeling over the roller, and then it was going around the corner into the tabletop.
Yep.
So Sexton was doing it. He went off and was going forks first into it, and
So he's straightening out instead of slamming.
Right, and Stu used to do that. You know, you're a Stu guy. Stu used to do that through like the 5 foot and the 7 foot back.
Yeah, the 353 sections. Yeah.
And he would just front end in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was real Stu-esque of him, and maybe.
Well, you know.
Well, those
Stu's training him,
I know, that's what I mean. That's why I brought it up.
I tell you what, though, those are you talking about? Also, did anybody notice that same that roller section out front before the big step down double? Is that the section you're talking about?
No.
Okay, so like he was doing the same thing in that it was like a roller section, but some people rhythm through. They were a little more lipped out, so you couldn't really like bounce over to the top of them. But like then you dropped into that wall, but you couldn't land in the pocket. And Chase was doing the same thing. He was straightening out into the top of it, but then he would
let the forks
it would load him up, but it would like drag his momentum down, so the front end would dip a little bit, where everybody else was landing front wheel high, clipping the top, and then dropping the front end. So like he was making up a little bit of time there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean that's
like everybody else likes to wheelie because it's like.
well. Also too, when you come at it straight though, you better have stiff forks because if
That's
they're
what I'm
soft,
saying.
they're gonna bottom out and your front end's gonna completely
That's what I'm
drop
saying.
coming off the
Like,
top.
the only other guy that I've seen attack a section like that is Stu. So.
I mean, if he's gonna keep riding like that, he's definitely gonna be stiffening up that chassis
He
a lot.
better, yeah.
Because if he tries to ride like that in Supercross, he's gonna kill himself.
That's why I'm a little nervous about the Stu thing.
Well, that is a little nervous because Chase's
Stu
style.
will just be like, yeah, dude, just do it.
Chase's style doesn't fit the way Stu like. It's not gonna work.
Stu's thing too was he just like wasn't calculated. He just knew as long as he hit it wide open, he was gonna make it.
Well, once again, shutting his brain off. Stu was all muscle memory. He never really thought about other than those Cowie days. He never really was really thinking out there. And me being a Stu Homer, he proved that enough times though when he would just completely throw away races. And we can get into that a little bit deeper some other time. But
Who do you think's paying for the Stu track to be kept
well,
up?
did anybody see that Kenny was riding at Stu's?
No, is he?
Yeah, he was riding at Stu's. It didn't bang.
Yes.
By the way, that roller section and getting open over that wall, I was watching when I first saw that. I had to go back and watch it again because I'm like, holy fuck, how the hell, dude? The fucking face was like literally a 2-foot face, and that wall was like a good 7. And he just brought. I'm like, ooh.
He was running a full crossbar on that bike too. Which
Yeah. Well, somebody was like, well, is that just stock, or does he like
That ain't
going
stock
back?
on those.
No, I'm saying like his setup. Like they were like, oh, is that just he's running it, like to get used to it?
I think he's riding that thing in stock trim, and they're just throwing
I
parts.
like
at
it. I like it starting from a solid base, and he needs to do that with it, like being all brand new.
Yeah. So what I've noticed so far too is there's a picture of it. So he doesn't have forks on it yet. So it's got production forks on it.
Yep.
He looks like he went to a crossbar pad.
Yep.
The front wheel doesn't have the factory hub on it.
Nope.
So, and then the picture that I saw, the swing arm had Renthal, BID, all that, and it's a little shinier. So a factory swing arm, obviously, whatever they do to a factory swing arm, probably a little more rigid.
Yeah, they re-gusset the top of it and stuff.
Okay, so that was on the bike, and it must be different to how the rear hub is because it's got a factory rear wheel on it now. So they're just slowly throwing parts at it, I think, and that's going to be dangerous.
Well, I like that because
Wait,
with that,
what are we talking about?
Kenny's 2021.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about Sexton's bike.
No,
Sexton's not on
Kenny's
21.
Chase is going to be testing that thing though soon, though. They were saying that.
Yeah.
But I like that though because with that new frame geometry and the way it's set up and that bike, the new motor changes and all that, I like that because I still feel though that with Kenny's upper body injuries, his front end, he's always had to compensate a little bit because he's not as strong. So if they can figure out a way to get that front end to do what he wants, that's a great way to look at it. Instead of just, hey, we're going to throw factory shit at it, and then just, hey, we're going to go from there. So Kenny's bike might look damn good come whatever our first round
Here's
is.
what I'm sad about. There's no dual exhaust on it. That's the
How's
saddest
your
part.
wallet feel?
What do you mean?
Your wallet's going to be a little happier.
Yeah, well, he's not buying a 2021 450 anyway.
No.
Breaking news, Travis is getting a Husqvarna.
Breaking news, Travis is getting a
Not at
Yamaha. So anyways, if we're talking about teammate on teammate, can we talk about Eli's pass on AC or when he ran him in the nails? Like, was anybody kind of going, Eli don't give a fuck about points and who you are?
No.
I don't think
AC
he's
wasn't
really a
close
big fan of
enough.
AC anyway.
I just thought
AC wasn't close enough in points for him to give two shits.
I know, but I just thought it was hilarious because I'm sitting there going, Eli is not, he's not going to let him have this. Because I know that people were like, oh, maybe he's going to just pressure him and then with 2 minutes to go, he's going to let
That
I'm like,
thought
no.
did cross my mind watching it, and then I was like, that's
Well,
not happening.
did you like, I will say this, AC handled that interview as best as he could when they were talking about that. He goes, yeah, the racing was aggressive. It was great to ride with or it was good. Racing was a little aggressive, but you know, it's Eli and all this. And I'm kind of like, I'd have blown him out.
Eli better be careful, man, because where like Savacci let him by, and then he didn't pay him and stuff like that. Savacci, I don't feel has the speed to stay with Eli. AC has the speed to stay with Eli, and if he pisses off, like if he runs AC too hard, and AC's in these title fights like he was the other day.
Yeah, but I don't think AC has the ability to ride like a dick.
Well, we didn't think
And I don't think
we
AC
didn't think
can
that
take
Tomac did either, but I remember him standing on top of
Coop's bike.
bike at Daytona.
Well, the thing is,
saying, welcome
neither,
to the 450
the thing is,
class.
neither of them know how to take someone out without going down themselves.
That's okay. I mean, they
So,
could
like,
both
if they
be
wanna
on-
do
they
that-
could both be on the ground and then fist fighting in the truck afterwards.
Yeah, it's
That'd
great.
be cool.
And then it's great because then Coop's just going to sneak in and keep on winning titles.
I don't know. Tomax has made some pretty good dirty passes.
I know, but what I'm
He
saying is
ruined
he-
Dean Wilson's career.
He did.
But I'm talking about the
Ruined
450.
it.
The 450, he seems like though every time he's trying to tee someone up, he's usually taking himself out in the process. The 250 days was a little bit different because I think people were more afraid of him then. But yeah, no, that was just a little great. It was cool to see because I don't like team tactics. I hate that shit. I do. I hate it.
Well, I mean,
I just
there
don't like
hasn't
it.
been a lot of it.
But if he would have done that though, he would have completely been a hypocrite because of the whole Marvin thing with
Yeah.
Dunge, and then the whole Joey thing back in Monster Cup.
Like I said, I think it would have been a different story had he been within 15 points. You know, but when you're 25 out, I mean.
But that first moto was impressive though, considering
Yeah.
where he was with 10 minutes to go. What was he like, fifth?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
10, 12 seconds
Yeah, he
back.
definitely put on an Eli ride, man.
But can we talk about Christian Craig though?
No, dude, do you really think he would have done that well
Yes.
with a full field?
Well, if you add in Kenny, no, I don't think he
No,
would
I'm
have been
talking
Kenny.
a full field this year, 2020.
You're talking about that moto
Like
finish?
bag it, like just riding that well. Moto finish as
I
well.
feel like he's been
Yes.
progressively getting
I
better.
do actually.
I feel like he probably would have nailed it.
Because think about this, he's going to be more consistent than Baggett. He's not going to have the pace all the time as Anderson, but I feel like he was going to be just as consistent.
Keep talking.
I know that you're not the biggest fan, but you know that I like Christian. I know.
No, I like him on a
I don't
bike.
agree with some of the stuff that he does. I think it's
you're
corny.
right. You're right.
But did he not prove though that all the time he's been saying, "I'm a 450 guy. I'm a 450 guy." He proved he's a 450 guy.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think he would do in 450 Supercross? Because we always know how good his speed is in Supercross, but he always does these bonehead things on the 250.
Man, just the 450 class is so stacked.
Do you think though his speed would be that far off? Because I don't.
I think his speed was there, but I just think mentally, man, he doesn't have it.
But do you think though that being on the 450 though would help him? Because it
Help
seems
him
like
mentally.
it seems like he just. I think he gets down on himself sometimes because I think that he's had such high expectations his entire career, and then when he never delivers. Whereas in the 450 class, I know that he's one of the older guys, which is weird because he's only 28. But I think in the 450 class, he kind of gets this fresh new start because nobody expects him other than himself to win.
Right.
I don't know, man. I just
Well, where's he going at Star on a 450?
250. He's
Oh,
going back
okay,
down,
so-
and that's what I'm saying. Like I don't like it. I do not. I think this is. I think it's ruining his career to go back to the 250. He even said it. He's like, well, I don't really want to, but I kind of got to.
You got nowhere to go.
And that's what I hate. I would love to see him on a factory 450 in Supercross. I think he would be good.
Yeah.
He needs to get his starts back.
Yeah, what
He
happened?
always used to be a really good starter.
Well-
So that's why I was expecting to see him out front at least a little bit this season,
Yeah.
like the TLD Honda days.
Yep.
But, I don't know.
I mean, it was a solid way to finish.
Oh, he rode great.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he rode really well.
Now, here's a question though,
Smooth.
if we're sticking on the Christian Craig topic.
Sure.
How do you think, or how much better do you think he's going to be on that Star Yamaha?
I don't know, man.
I think change is good. He can reset his
the
mindset.
change I think is good, and I think he's gonna
starts are going to be coming back.
and I think he's gonna carry some good momentum going in because of how outdoors went.
All right.
But
Does he beat Justin Cooper in Supercross? Because
it
I
depends
think
if he stays off the ground.
I think
Yeah, he just
speed-wise,
can't stay
he's
off the
faster.
ground, man.
I think speed-wise, he's faster than
Yeah.
Cooper.
Yeah.
Now you put him on a Star Yamaha, he's going to get his start back,
Yep.
no matter what. Like you can be
The
a
thing
C
is,
rider.
the thing is staying off the ground. That is literally the thing.
So
Can he
okay,
stay off the ground?
So if he does stay off the ground, a little bit off topic, but that's what we do on the show. How does he do in Supercross?
I think he's.
It depends on what coast he's on too.
I think he's a title contender.
I think he's a
have
title
to put him in
contender.
that
He was a title
conversation.
contender this year, but he couldn't sell.
I think he's
Yeah.
a title contender if he's not on the same coast as Jet and Fortner.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that if he's whatever coast those two aren't on,
Yeah.
I think because I didn't even think about this.
Do they put Jet on the same coast as Fortner?
Oh, for sure. I think Jet's gonna.
I think this year's going to be a toss-up with everything.
I think that though that if Jet gets the chance, I think if he finds out where Fortner's going, he's like, I want to be on the
He
same
wants
coast.
it.
I guarantee it. I
Really?
guarantee it.
Wait, what did you just say? Who wants who?
Jet wants Fortner.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I agree that if somehow Jet can figure out where Fortner's going, he's gonna ask to be on that coast if
How
he
are
has
they
the
gonna-
option.
Here's my question. We all know the state of California here right now and how it's going, and we talked about this
Yes.
before we got here about how we thought, well, maybe there's not going to be any races in California as far as Supercross goes.
So they're just going to do one.
How
No
are
regional.
we going to split up coast here?
No, I've heard that too. What if? It's
I mean-
I'd love to see it all one.
I mean, what are you going to have? Dallas, Houston,
Well, St. Louis was a West Coast round this
I was
year.
going to
and
say,
it's
so
not
what are you going to have? Those three?
The only thing I can think of is that they're gonna take. You talked about the whole Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. They're gonna have to do that with all whatever the West Coast rounds are if we don't in California. So okay, so Utah, if we go to Colorado, if Texas, if we go back to Phoenix.
Yeah, but Utah, you can't race there till May. You're only going to be able to run one
I guess we're
weekend
going to
there.
Phoenix a lot and racing in or Glendale. I guess we're racing in
Yeah.
Glendale a lot.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have a
If
California,
Arizona's open.
because I hate to say this, but we're never going to have a full 250. It's never going to happen. You're never going to have both. There's always going to be coasts.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really interested to see. Supposedly the next week or so we're going to.
Well, if we go to Texas, then I guess Texas is going to hold a lot of the rounds if we don't go to California.
Yeah, well, Dallas and Houston, I've heard, are
Because
both
they're
on
not
schedule.
going to be able to. We're going to have 6 rounds there. That's the only thing I can think of. 6
Yeah.
rounds, and then wherever we finish off the rest of the season, But I don't know. 2021 is going to be wild.
Yeah.
But back to the Paula thing. Does Chase win if AC doesn't go down? Because I don't think so.
I don't
AC
know,
was looking
man.
a little sketchy. AC did admit that his hand was a little fucked up.
Really?
He doesn't want. He said, "I don't want to make excuses, but my right hand was flaring up again to where I wasn't able to hang on."
Like it's just that second moto or the whole day?
The whole day.
That crash.
And he
was-
said, Chase probably would have beat me. I was going as hard as I could.
I like his honesty, but I don't know.
I don't know either.
I feel like AC, knowing that if Eli's not there and Zacho's not there, I feel like that he probably would have been able to manage that too. Unless Chase just kept going balls to the wall, which he
Probably would have. I mean,
Yeah,
he's got nothing to
he
lose.
sees it right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
What's he got to gain? 100 grand by winning. So
I mean,
he's in.
Last topic of discussion.
Okay.
I had this in my notes. Let's wrap it up
Okay. Great. Go ahead.
with the champ,
okay.
Zach Osborne.
Yep.
Yep.
Did he look a little sketchy in that second moto to you?
I think it looks sketchy in both motos. Man.
I think so
Like,
too.
like
That
he
track
had a
was
lot of
terrible.
pressure on him. Like he had that championship pressure and was just.
I don't know if it was that or it was just you guys, or I don't know which one you said this about him being like burnt out, but like maybe, dude, I think that at the end of the year, I think a lot of those guys' bodies were just done. They're just
Well, I
fucking
mean,
maxed out.
they openly talked about like at Baker's Factory they did 3 boot camps this year.
3?
Yeah, because they did Supercross to start the season.
That is way
They
too
did
many.
another Supercross when Supercross came back,
Probably like
and
Coop
then
did
they
race
did another
outdoors.
one for outdoors.
That's
So
why Coop said, "Fuck it."
I
yeah,
don't blame him. And I think that, I hate to say this, but I think Marvin's knee is worse than everybody thought.
Marv's situation's weird.
But I think his knee is worse than everybody thought.
Oh,
is what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Well, yeah,
I think the whole thing of him,
he's
of
having
Frankie's,
issues.
I think of the whole thing of him, Frankie saying, "Oh yeah, he's fine, he's fine." I think that knee is a lot worse.
He's
than
not
everybody said.
fine
He's not
at
fine at
all.
all. Because he progressively got, like he was still good, but he progressively got worse
Yeah.
as the season went on. Now, if he would have rode like he did that first Moto Ironman, he probably would have been in this championship all the way to the end. But he progressively got worse, and it was very obvious.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think he goes much beyond next year, to be really honest.
which is really
Yeah,
kind of
that kinda
sad,
sucks,
because
the
I
way-
would have loved to see him at least get a title before he retired in the 450 class, because I think that he came so close so many times. But yeah, no, Zacho scared me more than normal, both of those motos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There were so many times
he
that,
definitely didn't look prime.
I mean, even that section where everybody was turning that like right-handed single into a double when they were doubling into left-hander, how many times like he completely skipped sideways going in the face a couple times, and then he shut it off and stopped doubling. He went swept the outside.
Yeah, that jump
Yeah,
was
and
sketchy.
then it was funny. They had the camera on the pit board and it said "relax."
Yeah.
And then immediately that single right after he about goes right off the track.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that consciously he was like,
He was burnt, dude.
I know I have this championship wrapped up. I just need to get finish.
I think there's a lot of guys that are going to take a couple weeks off here before they get into Supercross testing. So
Well, I think that's another thing. It's going to be very interesting to see what, or at least hear, what people's programs are going into this season, considering the fact that we only have a few weeks for them to take it easy.
yeah.
I mean, you got to think a lot of these guys are going to start testing in what, the first week in November, second week in November?
Oh yeah. Boot camp starts, baby.
Which I think Kenny and Coop, and even Anderson to that point, they're going to be refreshed.
They'll come out swinging, but I think you're going to see like a evening as we go through the
Well,
season.
yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, you're always going to get to that point, but I think that it's a blessing in disguise that those three did not race the entire outdoor season.
I don't think it's a coincidence that Kenny did not ride outdoors.
Well, yeah, of course he did.
He knows what the fuck he's doing.
I think Anderson was really the only, like, I'm not saying that Coop lied, but I think that his injury, him
Wasn't
blaming
as
it,
bad.
had nothing to do
No.
with it. I think that Anderson was the only one that you could say legit, like his
Yeah.
injury kept him out,
Yep.
whereas the other two were like, well, Supercross,
yeah.
you know. So,
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, but congrats to Zach Osborne and Dylan Ferendis. Great year, you know. Fucking did it in a hard year.
Champs, baby.
Last
Yeah,
time Zach
that
Osborne
check
ever
is
won a
still gonna
championship.
cash, dude.
You know, you said he was never going to win one, and here
Well,
we
I won
are.
one,
Now
he
you're-
did.
That's okay. Keep saying it's the last time
It's gonna
because
be the
that means
last
we're
time.
going to continue to win.
No, like that's awesome for him. He's done something that not a lot of guys have done in the sport, and that
Yep.
is an East Coast 2 Supercross titles, an outdoor 250 title, and a 450 moto title.
Yep.
There's only one crown jewel that's really hard to get.
Well, you know what's funny about that is you say that the only few people have done that. Oh, did you say two? Oh, yeah, he did it on both of the East Coast. Cooper Webb is the most recent person to do that.
Did he do an East and a West Coast?
Well, Zach only won East.
He did East twice.
East
Okay.
twice. But either way, though, to win two Supercross championships, an outdoor championship on a 250, and then so they just obviously did it the opposite. Obviously, Zach won outdoors, Coop won Supercross, but still, I mean, there's not a lot of guys that have done that either way.
Right.
So, yeah, no, congrats to him, congrats to Dylan, 3 championships.
So here's the thing I heard that we'll finish on here with doubting your predictions there, okay? So I will agree, and this is the theory I've heard, is that, okay, Zach doesn't have the straight up speed to beat Eli or Kenny on the days they're on, etc.
Or Coop.
But he is solid, so he hangs around,
He always
he
is.
gets his wins on certain nights, and all of a sudden you get
Bulldog
down to
too.
the end, he's right there. And we've all seen what Zach will do for a title. I wouldn't say he's not going to win one. I obviously really won't say it.
He's not the favorite.
But I
He's
think the
not
only problem.
favorite,
I think the only
but
problem
It's a
is.
possibility. I'll give you that.
I think the only problem with that though is, and the reason why I'll say that with AC is the same way, except it's a different reason for AC, is you don't always have to be the fastest guy. Well, Eli, it's hard because Eli's won the last 3. But I'm talking about as far as being there. Zacho, because we know how good a shape he's in, he can get away with winning this outdoor championship by bulldogging his way through, just being in better shape, willing to suffer. Whereas in Supercross, you kind of have to be the fastest guy to win all the time. I mean, Anderson,
Ryan Dungey.
dude, you're
Sometimes he was fast.
you're not giving Dungey enough credit. I know we shit on Ryan Dungey
There
a lot.
was this season where
2016,
nobody fucking touched him.
nobody touched him.
I will give you that. 2016 is the outlying season of Dungey's career.
But even
he
20
was straight up the
But
fastest
even
guy.
2010 though, like people talk about RV coming on.
2010 was years before my day. So
2010
I know
he was
that.
Like even Dungey in 17. Is it 17 when he...
Tomac won all those races.
Yeah, Dungey
Right,
in 17
so-
was not the fastest.
No,
guy.
not
But think about those first 2 rounds when Kenny was clearly the fastest guy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Dungey got his ass beat in the first one. In the second one, he rode Kenny all the way to the last lap.
And see, the thing is we know that Zacho is not like Dungey in the sense that when Zacho is not on, he's not going to podium. He's not going to podium like Dungey did when he's not on.
No,
that's
but,
what I'm saying.
But hear me out on this. We obviously saw this year. We have enough good guys now that we have a ton of parity in the class. How many different winners do we have?
This year, 450s?
Yeah.
Let's see. Anderson won, Zacho won, Tomac won, Sexton now won, Baggett won,
Cooper won.
Cooper won,
AC won.
AC. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. What were you saying?
So anyway, so you have we have rattled off 7 dudes, and I don't know, maybe we have possibility of 10 have won this year, right?
Yeah.
So you have all that. But if he manages to finish top 5 every single race, win a few, I mean, he's right in that title hunt.
I'm not saying that he cannot be in the title hunt because I even said I'm pretty
we
sure.
could pull one out,
I'm
baby.
even pretty sure that I said when we did the Supercross preview show for this year, I said that I thought he would podium, he'd be top 3 in points because of he just bulldogs his way
I
through
haven't
stuff.
gone back to watch that, but trust me, I'm gonna watch
Go
that
back and watch
before
it
before we do that.
Yeah, go back and watch it because I'm pretty sure I even said I thought he would get 3rd in the points for 2020 or 2020 Supercross.
Yes.
So, and I even said he would get top 3 in points this year for outdoors. So it's not up that year. I think it was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I don't know. It's cold as fuck, but him, Tom, and who else?
No, that it was the very first year that I lost the bet first, and I
Oh.
rode cold as balls in my underwear. It's on YouTube, by the way. Type in Bucks Motocross track.